So every time I see someone talking about the hardest bosses in Elden Ring, they always have like the same bosses in their list, like Fire Giant, Moog, and bosses that are not actually that hard to kill. Well, they are if you're super under level. They're hard to kill, but there's people who actually kill these bosses with no hits, so they don't even get hit and kill the boss. So, you know, like Estelle, that boss was hard too, until like I figured out that Nintendo was gonna do good damage to that boss, and until I figured out being close to it was actually better, and dodging like the head attacks was actually better too. Estelle ain't that hard if you figure out how to kill the boss. Now for the Elden Beast, a lot of people find the Elden Beast hard for one reason, because sometimes the Elden Beast goes super far away from you and you can't actually hit it. But dodging the attacks ain't that hard. He's always doing the same thing. So you just gotta get close to it and actually like hit the beast. But he's mostly doing always the same attacks. So yeah, he's hard to kill because he's only too far away from you. He's not actually that hard to kill. You'll get it after a few tries. But to me, the Elden Beast is not one of the hardest bosses in the game. Well, I put it in the top 10, but not in the top 5, that's for sure. Now, Melania. Melania is the same thing. People, once they realize that using your Mimic Tier is detrimental to you because it heals, like Melania heals off of the Mimic Tier if you use it. So if you summon pets and Melania hits your pets, well, she just heals back to full health. So that's going to make the fight extremely hard for you. But if you don't use your summons, you can actually interrupt her. If you actually just use a weapon that will stagger Melania, you will interrupt her almost every time she comes to do her waterfall dance. And in the second phase, if you can't avoid the flower, all you do is you use the physic tier that gives you a shield, and you won't die. So it's more about technique right there. But you can kill her pretty easily. When she does that flower, you just don't stand in it, just wait for it to pass, and then, you do the same thing again. You just stagger her with a weapon that has stagger and you're done. Not that hard. But if you use a pet, for sure, you're gonna have a hard time beating Melania. Especially Ninja. It's gonna be really hard for you. But anyways, like, to me, Melania is not the hardest boss in the game, and for some reason, everyone says she's the hardest boss in the game. She's only hard because most people make it hard by using summons against that boss. Seriously, me, I had a lot more trouble killing Malikat than killing Melania. Melania did kill me a lot, the first time until I realized how to fight the boss. But yeah, she's a hard boss. But Malikat, the Black Blade, killed me so many damn times, man. Like that boss, I used the pillar to avoid his damage. I had to use a summon, I had to use the Flame of Red Mane, just break his poise and stun him. But that one gave me a lot of trouble, even more than Melania. But anyways, man, my personal hardest bosses in the game are not the conventional ones, but the other bosses that need to be mentioned as hard. The Falling Star Beast in Mount Glimmer, the full-grown Falling Star Beast in Mount Glimmer. If you arrive at that boss and you're like level 100, even with a summon, you'll probably die many, many times. That boss was so hard. When I arrived there, I don't remember what level I was, but I was using a summon that was like rank 10, and he kept killing me. He killed me so many times, man. That's a little bit later in NG4, I think. But he still almost kills me. Like right there. But the Falling Star Beast deserves an honorable mention as one of the hardest bosses in the game. Depending on what level you go fight him, you're gonna find this boss is extremely hard to fight. This guy too, like this motherfucker. Alecto the Black Knife Ringleader. That boss killed me so many damn times, dude. I slotted Flames of Red Mane and I tried to break his poise, to actually beat him, and I spammed the crap out of it. And I ended up glitching the boss at the end without knowing it was a glitch when he's on the rocks on the side where he just stays there and doesn't attack you. I didn't even know it was a glitch. But he killed me so many damn times. doing the same damn move where he grabs you from behind with his knife and he just like stabs you. When he lands that move, you know you have to avoid it, but it's easier said than done. But seriously, that boss killed me a lot, and he's one of the hardest hitting bosses in the game. I don't care what anyone says. Alecto is one of the hardest bosses, definitely. I think I had more trouble killing this boss than killing Melania, to be honest. Like, the fire giant gave me less trouble than this guy. The putrid crystalline sisters in that hidden cave. Oh my god. First time I got there, man, like, I was like, what the fuck is going on with this boss? Then I realized that I had to run around and wait for the opportunity to open to attack the one in the middle, and then you get rid of the first one in the middle, and then you can actually end up killing the boss. But that boss killed me so many times. Like, until I summoned my mimic there for this boss, I was getting clocked almost every time. But the bosses actually stand there after doing a certain move, and then you just gotta wait for them to do it again, and you can get them down. But until you figure out how to actually kill this boss while you're fighting them, they almost take no damage. That was like a very long fight for me. You know, I ended up killing the boss, but that boss definitely gave me a hard time. Another boss that gave me a very hard time before I actually figured out how to beat it is the Tree Sentinel just before Malekith, the Black Blade. God damn it, that this boss like hits so hard. You know, I ended up having to like change my build and do some power stance and blood loss on this boss, because like if I was trying to range the boss and you know I wasn't on his shield side, like he would actually like kill me. He has so many ranged abilities that, you know, he makes it very hard to kill. And that motherfucker in Caelid, man, the bell-bearing hunter in Caelid. If you want to fight this boss head on, you better be an expert at parries or having like a super good blood loss build, because he will fuck you up, dude. Like, seriously, man, the bell-bearing hunter of Caelid and the Tree Sentinel in front of Malekith, they gave me a shit ton of trouble. Like, you can actually range the bell-bearing hunter, but that one right here is like literally like super hard to kill if you're under level. He will like two-shot you. He hits so damn hard. You can't let this motherfucker hit you. You need to parry the boss or kill him from range or have an insane amount of DPS. Like I have a good amount of DPS right there, but I'm just showing like people here how to kill this boss from range. When you're under leveled, you use some range on that guy to like hit him with a bow or something, and you can actually kill him pretty easy. But if you go fight that boss under leveled, like he gives you no chances. He will just kill you. Now, seriously, man, the hardest boss in the game, it's not the guy in the mount. It's a mimic tier with a PvP build. Fighting a mimic, your own mimic, if you have a PvP blood loss build and you put, let's say, Bloodhound Step on, you're gonna have to be dodging and rolling, because like your mimic will actually two-shot you. Like, seriously, man. The mimic tier, if you're fighting a mimic tier with power stance that has blood loss, you can't just sit there and not be rolling and dodging, because it's gonna literally like Glock you, man. Like, blood loss is just so bad, man. It's just so balanced. Seriously, like the mimic tier, if you take off your hardest hitting spells and stuff like that, you can make the fight easier. But if you don't do that, if you make the fight actually hard on purpose, putting Bloodhound Step with power stance on the straight mimic tier, on your mimic, you know, to fight it, is like making it really hard. You don't remove your spells, nothing. You put everything as is. And you'll see. Like, Bloodhound Step makes the mimic dodge a lot. And, you know, like, he has, like, the blood loss. So if he hits you, he'll probably blood loss in 2 hits, you know, especially when you have 140 blood loss on your weapons. But the thing is, the reason why I say the Mimic is the hardest boss in the game is the higher level you are, it doesn't matter. You can't be over leveled for the straight mimic tier because it's gonna match your level and everything you have. So it doesn't really matter what level you are. You can't be over level for the mimic. So the higher level you are, just the harder the boss is gonna be.